This is the current state of the illus2D engine. If I run the code now, this is where we had left off. We have a beautiful FPS counter that ticks every 1000 frames or so. I forgot exactly how often we do this, but most importantly, we have this lovely little window with a texture of my logo in a triangle. Pretty cool, pretty cool. We've come a long way. We've written all these functions. We have organized our code into these different files and stuff. That's all cool, okay? But now I really want to get into the meaty stuff. You know, this is what's going to take our engine to the next level. What I mean by that is I want to really organize my engine and call it like, okay, this is the engine. You can pull functions from this engine. You can implement these functions in your own code, and you can just write your code with the engine. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Let me describe. Let me open up Paint, and this is going to be a pretty easy explanation for such a big thing that I'm trying to do, but still, I'll try to explain it as I go, and as in the coming few videos that is gonna take. Okay, so for example, we have this engine right here. Okay, call it engine. So this is the engine, little engine project. Okay, we have our engine. Now currently what we are doing is we are writing everything, like we are writing our application in the main function of the actual engine project. That's never a good idea, because let's say you want to ship your engine, you want other people to use your engine. In that case, you don't want those people to see how you write the function, because that's confidential. I mean, it may not be confidential for just a simple hobby project that we're doing, but if you imagine, imagine you're working in a video game company. Okay, those people don't want other people that use their engines to have access to all their code. That's a nightmare. That shouldn't be happening. Okay, so what usually these game engine development companies or these game framework development companies do is that they build the engine to like a lib file or like a DLL file, and then they just ship those DLL files, which means any other people who want to use that engine, they can just include the header files, and the linker can link from those DLL or the lib files. Okay, so that's how you actually make a real world application in the real world. Okay, that's how things work here and in the industry of tech. So basically, we want to ship this. So first, to ship our engine, we'll have to make a DLL file, and before we make a DLL file, we need to set up our project directory, like where all of our executable files are going to go, where our DLL files are going to go, where all of our intermediate file, like the .obj file, the Visual Studio creates after building. It's all the stuff that's going to go. So basically, we'll have to organize the stuff properly, because if we see right now, what's in there is we have this solution directory folder, and inside this we have our actual project folder, and inside that is where we have the file. So this is like the default way how Visual Studio organizes your files. This is bad, to say the least. Visual Studio does not organize it at all. This is like, it just has a debug folder where it like slams your files here. You can see all these OBJ files, and then it has something like I believe it's in the it's behind. If you go to the back in the solution folder, there's another folder exactly named debug for some reason. I mean, it makes sense because it's in here and not here, but still, like, they could have at least named their folders better or stuff like that. But basically, what I want to say is that the way Visual Studio organizes and puts all of your files is really bad. So we want to do it ourselves, and we want to do it a proper way. This video, we're gonna do this we're gonna properly organize our files so that we can actually start to make the DLL files for our engine, and that we can ship to other people so that other people can use our engine. And also for us, we can make multiple projects, because I see here, because what I'm trying to emphasize is that if we make like an engine pro project, what we can do is we can just implement that .dll file or like a .lib file. If we are leaving it statically or dynamically, we're probably gonna be linking it dynamically. It just makes more sense, so why not? All right. what we can do is we can make multiple projects. We can make one, say, let's say we can make the first game 1. We can make another project, let's say an application 1. Okay, we can make some other projects, and those projects, they can link with the DLL, just a single DLL. Okay, we don't need anything else, just a single DLL, and maybe a lib file if you're linking it statically, but we're probably not doing that, like I said. So yeah, they're gonna link with the lib file, with the DLL file, I'm sorry, and they can pull out the function, they can use it. It's gonna be a lot more convenient, and that's exactly how you should actually go around and make your engine. Like, that's the industry standard way of making the engine. Okay, now enough of me talking, let's actually get into it. So now, how do I want to set up the engine? How do I want the project folder to be set up? Well, if I go to my solution folder, I have this illus2D engine. Now this is the solution folder, because remember, our solution and project are named the same, which again is not the best idea to do. If you can, you should name your solution and project differently, which 99% of the time, if you're making a serious application, which you should be doing, which we're probably going to be doing as well. Okay, all right, so what I want to do is inside the solution file, and here all I want to do is I just want to make a folder called src. So this is going to be a source folder. It's going to contain all of our source code. So previously we had our source code in the files folder. We had our graphics, math, utilities and stuff. Now all I want to do is I want to copy this, put it in the source. Okay, I want to have it on source, and then inside this resources folder I have my shader code here as well, which also to be honest, this shader code is probably going to be handled by the person who is making a game using the engine. For example, the actual engine is probably not going to contain any shader code. It's just going to contain the shader class that's going to let users to make load the shaders. But to write the shaders is the job of the programmer. It's the job of the people that's using the engine. Okay, so we're not going to be putting any kind of shader code into the engine. We're gonna let people put the shader code into their actual projects. Okay, their actual application project, not the engine project. That's not a good idea. All right, so basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna delete this, but not now, because it's gonna mess up everything here. So we have these textures as well, which we're just gonna leave it in the res folder. It just makes more sense, and we have all of this. Now if I try to do this again, it's gonna take a whole lot of time. So what I'll do is I'll make a clean, fresh project right now. So in my desktop, I'll make a new folder. I'll call it illus2D files, and I'll just go to the res folder, the source folder. I'll copy this. I'll make a new folder. I'll call it source. Paste it here. Oops. That's where it goes. And I believe we had an externals file as well. Yep, we had this externals, the STB image that we used to load our textures. I'll copy that as well. I'll make another folder called externals. I'll paste the externals right here. There we go. We have the STB image, externals, the source. We have all our library files, our data buffers, and stuff like those. That's cool. Alright, once that's done, let me go to the source, let me go to the res folder, and I'm just gonna copy this res as for now. We'll sort this out later. Okay, cool. So let's just make a new Visual Studio directory. Let's just make a new project of our Visual Studio. So I'll quit Visual Studio. I'll open a new one. Let me get rid of the this. Okay, create new project. I'll go empty project. Next, I'll make one in 2D game engine. I'll call it, I'll probably just delete it for now. Yep, I'll just probably just delete it. Yep, there you go, permanently deleted. I'll call it something like so okay, it's in the folder. Solution name, we're gonna have a different solution name, of course. I'll call it the something like illus2D engine. Of course, that's the name of our engine. It's small. The project name, I think I like this. Yep, this is much better. Okay. but it looks like L actually. Yeah, I'll just stick with this. Okay, the name of the project, so this is going to be our engine project, so we'll call it engine. Let me see, 2D game engine, 2D engine is fine. I'll just do create, and then it makes a clean new engine folder. So if I let me change this to x86, I'll open folder here. Alright, so this is our new engine project. So we've got a 2D game engine, illus2D engine. This is the solution file, the solution directory file. So if I open this and hold on, illus2D engine. Okay, there are two of them. Okay, my bad. I shouldn't have done that. I made two folders. My bad. Let me get rid of this and make it again. That's kind of weird. Create new project. Empty project. Next. Get rid of this thing here. illus2D engine. 2D game engine. Select the folder. Call it illus2D engine. Be our actual engine project. Create. Oops. Get it to x86. Check the file explorer, and here we have. Okay, so inside the 2D game engine folder we have the actual solution folder, and inside that we have the solution and our engine project as well. Okay, cool. Now so like I said, how I want the project to be set up is a bit different. Okay, so this is how I want my project to be set up. So inside the solution folder, where we have our actual solution, I'll make a new folder. I'll call it bin, and this is where it's going to contain all of our executables and DLLs, basically the actual files that we need to run the program. Okay, so those are going to be going into the bin folder. I'm going to make another folder. I'll call it bin dash interim, which stands for bin intermediate. So I hope you guys know how C++ compiling and linking works. If you don't, which is a bad thing, I hope you guys know how basic C++ work. But if you don't, if I have to quickly summarize it, after building a project, C++ creates a not a project, just any CPP file. Okay, so after building a CPP file, C++, the compiler creates a .obj file, and then the linker links all of the .obj file and makes a .exe file, okay, or a .lib file or a .dll file, which we'll be getting into soon. In case of our engine, it's going to be a .dll file, and in the case of all the other projects that are gonna inherit from this engine, it's going to be probably an exe file. But basically what I mean is, when the linker actually makes the actual program, it links those obj file, and once it makes the program, there's no use of the obj file anymore. They're taking our memory, taking our space and stuff like those. Okay, so we don't need them. So those files, and so including the obj file and all the other garbage files that Visual Studio creates, we're gonna put them in the bin intermediate folder. Okay, that's how it's gonna go. So I'll get back to my folder right here. So we have this, the bin and the bin intermediate. All right, cool. And inside of course we have our actual engine project thing. We have all the contents of our engine. Okay, so let's get back to Visual Studio. I'll click on this show all files button, which should just do this. Yeah, so I'll click on this collapse all, which should get rid of this. Okay, so we'll click on our project, and we'll click on this show all files thing. Okay, which is going to get rid of all those virtual filters from here. Alright, so I'll add a new folder. I'll call it src. Like I said, this is going to contain all the source codes, all of our things here. Is good. Now let's just begin actually setting up our project folder path. Okay, so we'll go to right click on engine, or go to properties. Under these should be all configurations, all platforms. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to go to general, the configuration properties tab, and go to general, and the output directory, and this is where we're going to put the actual directory of. Let me get rid of this, we don't need that. Yeah, so in the output directory we're going to put the directory of this, so the actual bin directory. Now we don't just want to copy this and paste it right here, bam, done. Nope, this is a bad idea. Okay, because if someone like downloads these engine files from GitHub, they may not have the bin in the same directory as us. Like they may have it on D, they may have it on E somewhere. This basically it's not a way to do it. So instead we're gonna use some clever macros that Visual Studio provides. Okay, so basically if we take a look at this, it's in our project directory and inside a folder called bin. Okay, so all I'll do is pretty simple. I'll do the $, solution directory, go to the bin / I'm gonna make a new folder, so I'll call from the name of configuration dash the platform, so it's for what platform we're making. Okay, / configure platform and / and this is where I'm gonna dump all of my files. Okay, now before I dump all, I'll probably make another folder. I'll call it the actual name of the project, so I'll do project name. Alright, cool. This is where I'm going to dump all of my files. Apply and okay. Okay, now if I actually take a look at this bin, of course we don't see anything yet because we haven't built the program yet, so we have to do that right now. But before I do that, let's copy this again. We'll paste it again here, and instead of the bin, we'll do bin dash intern. So for the intermediate directory, we're gonna put all our intermediate garbage in the bin / intern file. Okay, click apply, hit OK. So let's just check. Let's check if it works or not. I'll make a folder in the source. I'll call it a main.cpp. Okay, it's recording well, nice. So inside here I'm just gonna make a basic include IO stream just to check if it works or not. Okay, so the program works. Now we should have created the bin, the executable, and the .obj files. If we take a look at it here we'll have this here. So okay, so this is not the bin interim. All right, so we have this bin file. Right, so we have this bin file. All right, so inside the bin file here is in the debug win32, which is the debug is the configuration and win32 is the platform, so the one we specified in the output directory. So inside here we have the actual actual project name, and inside here we have the actual meat of our project, which is the executable engine, and we have hello world printing. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, so that's our actual application file. If I go to the illus2D engine, if I go to the intermediate file, it's going to create another one of these. Engine is there, and this is where you can see here's actually the actual obj file, the main.obj, and this is where the actual junk sits. Okay, all right, cool. So that's good. So we have actually organized our code. Okay, so we have put our meaty stuff in here and all of our trash in here. Okay, awesome. That's cool. Okay, so once we have that out of the way, we're going to be setting up the actual engine thing, because right now the engine is compiling into an .exe file, like see here. Like you can see, the engine is actually currently compiling into a .exe file. Okay, so we don't want that. What we want is the engine to compile in a .dll file, which is which is going to allow us to use copy the DLL to some other projects and use them and stuff like those. Which is going to be cool. It's going to be really good. Okay, so that's what we want to do. But before I do that, let me just check if these things work or not, because we have these code that I copy pasted, these one. So we of course have to put this in our actual file. So we'll do externals. We have this source, so I'll literally copy this. I'll open file explorer. I'll do so here inside the source. I'll paste it right here, and inside this graphics, okay, we have everything in here. I'll make another folder. I don't have to make a folder. I'll have to just copy from here. So I'll do resources. I'll paste it here. Source externals. We have STB image. Of course, we need that. We'll copy paste in here. Okay, cool. That's pretty much it. Now if I okay. So now if I refresh it, you can see we have all of our code that we had written in the previous streams here. So I'll just do right click on source, include in project, to get our actual files in here. Data buffers, bit of red shaders. I will probably include this for now just to check our program. So include in project, include this in project. Apparently I'll have to do it one by one. Okay, good. Alright, now if you want to compile this, of course we need to set up GLFW and glue. I'll just do it quick and be right back. Okay, so I have included GLFW and glue. I just made a new folder here in my solution directory. I call it externals. I put my GLFW here, I put my glue here, and I just included it. I made a video. Literally the first video of this stream was how to set all of this stuff. So if you guys don't know how to do it, just watch the video from my channel. It's pretty easy. Okay, all right. So now you can see we don't have any OpenGL errors. The IntelliSense error for OpenGL, because we have all of our functions with us. Now it still shows some errors. It says maths, we cannot open the source file. If I go here, I guess some errors. I guess it was in shaders, shader.h. It cannot open source file. Okay, so it's probably because it cannot find it. So we'll do something like if I do like source and open it, it's probably gonna work. Nope. Let me see if the include directives is there. So include shader texture data buffers. Okay, so we don't have the include path setup. Yep, so we'll have to do it as well. Alright, so for the include path, we're gonna go to engine properties. It's pretty easy. C++ general here. Go to edit. I'll just include everything from the solution directory and the project name. Okay, I'll include everything from here, which means I can just do. Yep, see the error goes away. I can just do include. I can include pretty much everything I want. Okay, cool. Which I can just do, which means I can just go here, go source, math vec4, and everything's well and fine. Alright, cool. Let me check if there are some more errors like these. So externals is working fine. Math 4, yep, it's giving us some errors. I'll do RC here as well. Vector 2, nope. Okay, vector 3, vector 4. It looks like everything is going well. If I try to build it, just hope it'll build. Okay, so one failed. Let's see what the error is. STB I said flip vertically unload. What does it say? Unresolved external symbols. Alright, let me go to the texture file. I guess you cannot find the texture for what this is because we don't have the externals file yet, or do we? Yeah, of course we don't have this. Let me include in project. If I go to texture.h, externals, STB, okay, now it should compile and run. And awesome, so we get our hello world printing to the console. That's awesome. Clean the solution, check it again, build it. Just be sure that everything is went well and the Visual Studio is not just smoking and crack. Yep, everything is went well. One succeeded. Okay. That's good. That's exactly what we want. So we have set up everything. Let me just go ahead and get the code for the engine, like the current engine that we had. Let me copy this. Let me go to the main function, the main.cpp, paste it here. Okay, so files, of course now we don't have in files. What we have is we have in the source folder. Okay, source, maths, vector stuff, the resources. Now in the resources we have these, all of these. Let me just code, and whoa, it says cannot find uniforms. And new model, okay, cannot find the model matrix apparently. Okay, and the reason for that is because we just have the same code from couple episodes before, so that's why it was coming. Okay, but everything is working well, trust me. So we can just get rid of that, and we'll begin from we will begin from just the window, and we'll create a vertex array probably. We'll get rid of this model matrix shit. Get rid of this. Get rid of the uniform. Cannot find the uniform. That's the issue right here. Let's see if it actually loads the shader. This texture coordinates. We don't need them now. Fragment shader. No any kind of these weird stuff. Let's just make, for now, let's just make the triangle yellow. So I kind of like yellow. Yellow is a good color. For the code, we see a yellow triangle, which means everything is went well, and we have our FPS counter kind of thing coming in. Okay, cool. That's pretty much it. So if now again, just for a recap, so to see how our engine is set up, we have the actual solution folder for our engine. So this is our actual our engine folder, and inside that we have the actual engine project. Okay, the engine project, and here we have externals, res, source of course is going to contain all the files, all our code. And actually I'm probably going to be putting these shaders here. Okay, it just makes more sense. I'm going to put the shaders in here. Let me refresh it, refresh the page. The shader is going to be down here, include. Now we can just probably just, if I just go to main.cpp, I can just do something like instead of doing red shaders, I can probably just do shaders / because now it's in the same folder as we have our main.cpp. Okay, this should work fine, and it does not. Okay, because we don't load the shaders. Okay, so let's see what the issue is. Shaders / vertex shader GLSL. So we have the main folder on here. It's in the source. Okay, it's not reading our file. Brilliant. Okay, so the issue is that our shaders are not reading the file. That's the issue. Okay, right, so let's see what the issue, let's see how we can fix it. Shaders, so we have the main.cpp here, and we'll do shaders from here. So we're copying this from here. I think the issue is because we put the include from here, from the engine. Okay, there's our additional include directories, but yeah, so we'll have to define the shader path relative to the project name. So basically what we have to do is we'll have to do source / shaders. Okay, so we'll have to do source / shaders, and that should work. If it does not, I don't know what to say. And it does. Now we'll show it right here. Let me get rid of this. There we go, it's done, and yep, that's our complete directory for our engine setup. Okay, cool. Now yep, there it is, illus2D engine, our bin file. It contains our actual folder, our actual the actual executable, and possibly some DLLs in the future. And the bin / interim is all of our garbage, intermediate garbage that we have. Okay, cool. That's pretty much it. That's how we and the engine of course contains the actual source code, source files, and stuff like those. Okay, man, that's pretty much it. We have set up a really nicely organized folder structure for our engine. Now it's going to help us a lot in debugging. It's going to make our life a lot more easier, a lot easier to navigate, to find what files what files where, and stuff like this. So that's basically it. In the coming video after this, I'm probably going to be uploading tomorrow or after 1 or 2 days. I'm not too sure, but it will come out this week. it will come out this week. That's for sure. That's for certain. In that video, I'll teach you on how to export our actual engine as a DLL, not as an executable. Okay, so we'll export the actual functions, all the functions and stuff to a .dll file, and we're going to make a separate project. We're probably going to be calling it something like the application or like a test engine, like the engine tester project. And that is where we're going to be actually writing our code. So instead of having this main.cpp directly in the engine project, we're going to have this on the separate project called engine tester or sandbox. You can name it everything we want. Okay, and we'll just write our code from there. Okay, that's where the series is heading. That's I just want to give a nice little overview of what I'm going to be doing in the future, or what I have planned for this series. That's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.